Hey guys, this is Helping Hands bringing you my reaction and thoughts to the recent 1v1 show match featuring the new Italian Partisans for the Americans and also the Last Stand battle group for the Vermacht faction. Hope you enjoy. Here we go.
Because they allow you to do a few different things. So one of the first things that you can do with them is that they will always connect the territories that are connected to the tunnel. So you'll see later that my opponent will try and cut me off, but because I have tunnels in certain locations, he won't be able to do so. And the other really core use is what I'm going to be doing here. Your units will be able to move in between tunnels, between a cooldown throughout the map, allowing you to do all kinds of different strategic movements on the map.
So fairly significant cooldown, like 10, 15 seconds, something like that.
And also the construct tunnel has a pretty long cooldown on it as well.
Yes.
Okay. Will, anything to add there about the Italian Partisans, at least with their opening abilities here?
Yeah, so we haven't seen them yet. We will see them shortly, but Partisans themselves obviously do feature within the Partisan battle group. The tunnel network is kind of the core structure behind the lines. Enables you to use the rest of your army, really, alongside the Partisans. The Partisan units themselves will feature at some point soon.
Okay. Should we take a look at what Darren is playing as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so it looks like they've already locked in their first ability on the defense in depth tree for the Last Stand battle group.
Yeah, okay, so the Last Stand battle group in general is quite a defensive and desperate style of play. It's based around the Wehrmacht in the waning days of the war, so Battle of Berlin, for example. There's a lot of their arsenal is impromptu or kind of last ditch. But to kind of hold up the core of them, they have
75 manpower to convert a pioneer
this is,
over.
A unit that you can build directly from the HQ, or you can convert existing pioneers into stone pioneers if you want. They're more combat proficient. Their upgrades that you can get towards the mid and late game will make their squad larger, give them access to things like flamethrowers or STGs. But they're going to be your core builder for a lot of the tools within this battle group. I imagine Darren will start building a few structures very, very soon. But just to give some examples, they have access to things like propaganda towers, which
this is new on the left-hand side over here, guys.
Around them and,
right?
Affect enemy units. They can build Pantherturms. They can build sandbag shoring, which is
hotkeys on the left-hand side,
blocking sandbag wall. So loads of.
Be able to convert Grens into Jaegers and convert them into Panzer Grenadiers.
They're also pretty good combat infantry. They do start at 3 men. They are
I never use the transfer orders.
You can also convert your existing pioneers into stone pioneers, which makes them better at combat. But again, they're still quite fragile, being 3-man squads. When they get their upgrades, which we'll see later, they'll become a 4-man squad. I believe Darren actually just upgraded one of the squads to have an STG and the other to have a flamethrower.
That was early.
Yeah, so he's kind of rushing out these upgrades, which can be really effective. These squads can be really powerful early on, and they have decent scaling as
well. So maybe we want to jump back to you, Jason, because it looks like you've also unlocked the Resistance Fighter Infiltration.
Yes.
Attacking from camouflage weakens the target's enemy's offensive power. Can throw incendiary grenades to damage infantry or stun vehicles. Actually, this is very good on, you want to target the most lethal enemy units like Panzer Grenadiers or the Stosstruppen. So that would be pretty good to focus, get the Partisans to focus on them. Incendiary grenades can build tunnels, can use tunnels to transport into garrison buildings. Gains experience from capturing and decapturing all territory as well. Okay, so they can vet up faster because of that.
I actually can't tell if I've deployed one already. Oh, yeah. So we missed the moment, but Partisans have a few unique mechanics, as you can see there. We really wanted to have them have a lot of different kinds of unique gameplay that's not just combat power. So one of the first things that makes them special is that they have the infiltrate capability. So when you are calling them in, you can call them into any friendly or unoccupied hold. So ambient buildings, you can call them into tunnels, and they will simply appear out of the shadows. And you can use this to ambush enemies. You can use this to essentially put them in positions early or ahead of time. And they can also jump into buildings or they can jump from the tunnel network into nearby buildings as long as it's within the tunnel radius or the tunnel influence, which we'll get into later. But essentially, these guys are really good at ambush tactics, and they have a lot of different movement tools.
Oh, they can move from cover
in
to
their
cover
arsenal.
without revealing themselves, which is very
It's also
strong.
worth noting as well, Jason's upgraded his resistance fighters very early. They have 3 upgrades available to them to essentially make them suitable for whatever situation you desire. So, for example, the submachine
build a
guns will
tunnel
make
then?
them
It's
more
hard to
effective
even
in close
tell.
quarters. The Panzerbuchse will be your anti-tank rifle, so if you want to set up light vehicle ambushes. And then they also have the Granatbuchse, the grenade launcher, if you have problems with garrisoned units or units in cover.
Yeah. All stolen weapons, as most of their weapons were. But
They mentioned if the stern pilots have
it
armor like
allows you
Code 2 stone. I
to
don't think so.
essentially
I definitely
use
think
them,
they don't all come with
to
STGs as well.
support
They
your
come
army
with
in kind of the role you need
I
them
think they
to.
come with G43s and then
So right now,
3
I've
men,
seen that
but then
Darren's
they can upgrade
gotten
a single
251
STG
half-track,
or a
and
single
I don't really
flamethrower and go
have
up to
any
4 men.
easy anti-tank options, so I've opted for anti-tank rifles on my partisans. I believe I'm currently trying to set up an ambush, but I'm not quite being able to find an angle.
He's not biting.
Yeah, only 3
One of
munitions
the
per infantry
base
model
effects
lost.
of the partisan infantry unit is
It's
that
not
they
enough,
have
I don't
disrupting
think,
fire,
compared to the,
which if they attack
British
or
one.
ambush a unit from either a garrison or out of camouflage, they will reduce the damage that squad can do.
They don't quite know what they're shooting at because they see civilians and it causes them to be less
Yeah.
effective.
So they don't do that. They don't do tremendous amounts of damage, but they are very effective at throwing your opponent off guard here.
Yeah, used alongside your other infantry, they can be very good at just making the whole situation flip on them.
So, like, for example, in this game, like, I haven't actually fought Darren that much on the map. We've been busy talking about some of the mechanics, but, like, if you look,
They've not showing the most important thing, which is they're killing the tunnel network on the right-hand side of the map, and the cameraman is completely missing it.
playing a lot on the periphery of where he is, kind of just doing a lot of capture tactics, trying to find decent angles. Darren hasn't really given me anything just yet. But if you look at the bottom, I had a tunnel there that he cleared, and then also towards the southern end of the map, I'm also capping. And this is kind of the movement that tunnels allow me to do. Now, tunnels do
That's
cost
pretty
manpower,
nasty
so
and
generally, if
bro.
you're using
That thing
these,
there, then
you will
dot
have
damage
a
over
smaller
time.
army than your opponent. You will have to, like, trade better in order to kind of keep up in strength. So naturally, you want to be leveraging the tunnels for the movement and not really fighting your enemy directly unless it's a really good opportunity, which this kind of looked like a good example. I was in decent cover.
No,
he has
he's
to kind of
got
come towards
the
me,
ability
but he still
active
ends
where
up
he's
winning.
getting munitions when he loses troops.
Let's shift focus
He's
and talk
taking
about
more
some of the
damage,
things that
though.
Darren has locked in here. So you mentioned the propaganda towers, so he's already built one of those. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we can talk about his strat a little.
Yeah.
So he's gone for 2 things here. One is the prop towers, or the propaganda towers, sorry. So what they do is within a large radius around them, you can kind of see that that blue reticle there. They cause all
Very vulnerable,
enemy
though.
units
Dies
to
so quickly, just a
essentially
few rifle
get
shots.
demoralized, which makes them less effective at capturing territory and slightly less effective in combat. So this is a good way to kind of not quite fortify your territory, but make it much more difficult for your opponent to essentially push into. But obviously it has some major downsides.
Yeah, the intention would be, if you have prepared positions, you've already got good cover, you might as well flick this on, because you'll have the defenses working to your advantage. But this is not something that you want to leave on if you're
Right, tunnel
rushing
again.
out into
Can we
the open,
see
for
how
example,
is it?
into your enemy's
Okay,
positions.
the tunnel looked
It's
like
gonna
it was
be
getting
costly.
killed very
Yeah.
quickly by just small arms fire. Then
In prepared positions, you can
Looked like you
offset a
had
lot
good
of the damage that you
durability.
take, especially if
the
you
Pat gun
force your
shot, and
enemy to move
again
around a
the
lot.
cameraman
So,
was
for example,
not looking
the
at it
propaganda
again.
towers, the opponent kind of has to move up to try
Properly.
and find where they are to destroy them. And when they're running around in the open, essentially the value of final battle is way higher because your opponent is moving, they're out of cover, they're not doing that much damage, whereas you're doing your full damage to them. Whereas if you were charging at them, there are still times where that would be useful, but it would be
So
less.
here comes a multiple grenade assault here, which is pretty
So
cool.
for
from
example,
the
here Darren's playing very defensively on this kind of like the right side of the map. And I've been trying to find engagements on him, but so far he's been able to push me back.
Certainly got that tunnel network.
Can you
Tunnel
quickly,
network.
clarify the
building.
the tunnels? Are those always visible?
Is that
there
getting
detection
built?
range? How does
Ambiently?
the opponent sort of counter you building those everywhere?
The tunnels are camouflaged, so it's a little hard to tell from this camera, but because we're in observer mode. But these units are in camouflage, and even when you build them. However, there's quite a few tells that give away where a tunnel is. Generally, if you start seeing partisans operate from weird angles, that's usually a good giveaway there's a tunnel somewhere in that location. But also, you can use detector units. Though in this case, I kind of just pop out of the tunnel trying to get a jump on some of his units here. Oh, and this is underground detonation, and yeah, I got a good kill here. So
Okay, hang on a minute. So for me, it appears that tunnel was built inside enemy territory, or maybe it was already being constructed in friendly territory, but it didn't look like there was any unit actually building it, but it looked like it was completing itself. And then you get the detonation ability from it as well. Hang on.
Tunnel trying to get a jump on some of his units here. Oh, and this is underground detonation, and yeah, I got a good kill here.
It's crazy,
so that's
dude.
one of the other new abilities for partisans, which is called the underground detonation. This ability allows you to essentially detonate a pre-positioned explosive from your tunnel. So this spark kind of travels alongside out of a tunnel to a location, which then detonates. And
Too much time to react to
against
that.
team weapons or any stationary targets. And I managed to catch the machine gun there, but I couldn't actually complete or finish the deal because, again, my units are kind of all on the periphery of this battlefield. If you look, Darren has very solid control of the center. He's trying to cut me off normally on this map, but because I have tunnels in the other locations, I'm actually okay. I'm okay with him doing this. So I'm going to continue to fight on the periphery here, try and find other angles where he might not be that strong.
You've done a good job as well of keeping the tunnel entrances open as possible. Like, you still have 3 tunnels on the field, even though he's been pushing pretty.
How much do the tunnels cost to build?
And it seems like you have a lot of interesting options now, especially with OSS coordination. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it was earlier on screen, but like one of my units retreated into a tunnel. If you go for OSS coordination, it makes your standard units much more effective at fighting within and up around tunnels, because it allows you to retreat from them. So you can essentially designate tunnels to be forward retreat points, and units that retreat to these tunnels will automatically retreat back to base. So that allows you to attack from all kinds of different angles. Because without this ability, sometimes even if you're behind them, if you have to retreat, you have to retreat through them.
I mean, it does take, 15 seconds for it to cool down, but it takes you probably that long to reinforce the squad and heal it up fully back at the base anyway.
It
so
is kind of, you have to be careful when using it, because sometimes, A, it gives away where your tunnels are, but B, sometimes it might cause you to retreat in an angle you didn't expect. So here, I'm trying to attack Darren in the center here from basically every angle that I can. He's trying to use a stug, a team weapon, and these machine guns. And so far, I think that's my first time being successful, actually finding an angle on him. But yeah, this is kind of the things that the tunnels enable.
Yeah, definitely. And like, to give you an example, if Jason had units that were on the complete wrong side of the map, like the opposite side, fighting very, very deep, he would have to retreat all the way through Darren's army to get home safe. That OSS coordination essentially allows him to jump straight into a tunnel, teleport back to base, safe with houses, but it would give away the position of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, last thing, do we want to quickly talk about the Saboteur infiltration unit?
Yeah. I don't believe I've actually used it just yet, or...
No, I don't see one.
No, you just got the fire squad.
So we'll keep our eyes peeled for when that happens, because that's a really cool other partisan unit. Really kind of leans into what the partisans really did a lot.
Yeah, I want to see the Saboteur have a go at this Stug or something.
Or trap.
Okay, any other notes on Darren's strategy here, and maybe some of the other abilities he's been unlocking, like
so
Panzerfaust rollout?
Panzerfaust rollout. Yeah. So this is a unique upgrade, something we're doing for the first time here. Even though Darren's unlocked it, he still has to purchase the Panzerfaust rollout. which I believe he has done, because it looks like it is now a passive ability. So the Panzerfaust rollout enables all infantry across his army.
Where
to
does he
use the
purchase
Panzerfaust
it?
ability, which is
I thought it was a purchase
exceptionally
ability on each
dangerous.
individual
If you
squad,
are
or
aware that
was
you're fighting
it?
last stand, this may suddenly pop up. So it means that his Stern Pioneers, even his Jaegers or his Panzer Grenadiers, if he has them, they all now have access to Panzerfaust. It's not just on the Grenadier, so you can't take those risky dives into.
It's a
infantry that
one-time
you would
all squads.
otherwise
It's not like the
assume is safe.
camouflage in Company Heroes 2
So
where you'd purchase it for 20
Jason's
munitions
Greyhound
per
has to be
squad.
pretty careful.
Okay. And do we want to talk about
Okay.
some of the options he has here in the last?
How much does it cost?
We can get to them when he starts
Okay.
using them. I actually don't remember where I lost the Chaffee, to be honest, but the Panzerfaust rollout is really strong in making your infantry much more resistant to dives. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Chaffee, when it died to one of those Fausts. And now that he has
APM
it,
intensive? I kind of like that. You know, you're jumping in and out of buildings and tunnels, constantly pushing in, being aggressive. It's kind of lends something to my playstyle, which I'd like to do.
We haven't mentioned the grenades on the Stern Pioneers.
Yeah.
So the Stern Pioneers, as well as having various different weapon upgrades, when they hit veterancy level 1, they also have access
25.
to a grenade switch, which is the M39 grenade. They're smaller grenades than the stick grenades, but essentially what the squad will do is put their rifles away for a limited span of time, and they will only throw grenades. So it means that even though their range is shorter, they are able to clear out positions like sandbags, for example, very, very easily.
And by the way, so what is happening right now is one of those final upgrades that we were talking about for last final battle. So this is recovery efforts. If you go back to the Stern Pioneers, they are now when to upgrade
come on,
this,
John.
kind of in the spirit
Focus
of
on-
using everything that they could. They are actually able to recover wrecks. So as you can see here, there is now a Chaffee on the field for Darren. Now, you do need to pay the standard recovery cost to get these vehicles, but yeah, it allows you to repurpose or bring back to life a lot of dead wrecks.
Yeah,
And
has
I
a lot of advantages and disadvantages compared to our standard recovery vehicles, because infantry are not as resilient as a vehicle might be. So this is still risky, and they're exposed when they're doing this on the front line. But the fact that you can do this on any of your Stern Pioneer squads, once you have this upgrade available, means you can be pretty prolific with it.
Yeah. And it does mean, like, as the opponent as well, you have to be really careful about giving wrecks, essentially, to your opponent.
Marmaloo's
Or
hating
essentially
thing.
not finishing off wrecks.
We're just watching this to get some
even if
more
if you dive the
knowledge
opponent
about
and
these new
destroy a
battle
lot of
groups
his
and
vehicles
stuff.
and you don't destroy the wrecks, he may be able to recover, which in this case he did. Yeah, so that Chaffee is going to be difficult to deal with. I don't actually remember what it ends up
Talk
doing
about
later in
this,
game,
the fact
so I
that
guess
there's
we'll
like
find out
a
together.
tunnel
Switch
being
back over
spawned
to,
in.
the Partisans, because I see a Saboteur on the field.
Oh, in the bottom side of the map. Yeah.
Go on, it's all yours.
So Saboteurs are a very special unit. They are a two-man non-combat squad where they're basically ineffective in combat. However, they're very valuable in the sense that they can lay mines, booby traps, and demo charges. However, you don't.
Dude,
need
that
to...
is really annoying that the information, it says, this unit is a temporary and automatically retreats off after a set amount of time. Tell us the exact amount of time. Why just...
They can lay mines, booby traps, and demo charges. However, you don't need to pay with them. They come with 3 charges.
It's weird
that
because they're
allows them
specific
to
in other
use.
areas, saying, "Oh yeah, this bit
essentially for free.
will take 15
And
seconds
these
or this,
are
that, and
a
the other." But
timed
then
squad.
they're
So they
vague
are
in
only
other
on the field
areas,
for
you
a short
know.
period of time before they essentially.
I'm on
retreat
Reddit.
off
Be
of the field.
consistent.
Now, when they do so, you do get a discount, or you get a amount of
3
resources
explosive shells
back,
to spend on
depending
mines.
on how much of the squad retreats.
Okay,
If the
you've
squad
got 3
dies,
mines
then
down or
obviously you
1
get
of the other
anything
stuff.
back.
That's kind of
If
cool.
you lose 1/2 of the squad, then you also only get half. So this squad is really, really good at, because it has infiltrate and it also has permanent concealment. It's a very, very adept mine layer. So you can use this to mine or trap different parts of the map and set up traps for your opponent without them being able to see it. and then you can then recall these units off the field and then call them in again if you need them, or continue to fight with your regular army. There's
So
a
you can
lot
call
of
them in
different
again
tricks
straight
that you
away.
can do with them.
275.
Darren's been we played quite a lot internally now, and Darren's kind of wise to a lot of the shenanigans
Refunds
he can do.
60% of the
But, like,
cost.
just off the top of my head, some things that we've done is like laying a demo on the back line of like behind the retreat path of your opponent, or booby trapping points where like they show up, they walk onto the booby trap, they take a bunch of damage, and as they retreat, they also run into a mine. They also have a Panzerschreck ability that you hovered over earlier, which gives them a one shot.
He just got big shot off. They retreated off the map then.
It doesn't do engine damage.
I just want to double check here that when he's laying these,
then obviously don't get anything back.
like, is it costing him munitions laying these, or is it free to lay this?
So saboteurs are a very special unit. They are a
70.
two-man non-combat squad, where however they can end demo charges.
He's put one down there. He's about to put another one down.
They come with 3 charges that allows them to lay these, essentially for free.
It's free.
And these
Yeah,
are
essentially
a
for free.
timed
Wow.
squad. So they are.
So you can
only
get
on the
mines
field
and
for a
stuff
short
down
period
for
of time
free
before
for
they
incredibly
essentially
cheap
retreat
costs.
off of the field. Now, when they do so, you do get a
Damn.
discount, or you
Okay.
get a amount of the resources
Refund?
back,
Yeah.
depending on how much of the squad
60%
retreats.
back.
If the squad dies, then obviously you don't get anything back. And if you lose one half of the squad, then you also only get half. So this squad is.
So you don't always have to spawn this unit super deep behind enemy lines, right? You could just spawn it in, you know, somewhere quite defensive just to get the free mines off, right? That's pretty damn crazy to be able to just drop as many
really
mines as
good
kind of you
at-
want.
because it has infiltrate.
You can
and it
trade
also has
manpower
permanent
technically
concealment.
for munitions
it's
here
a
to get
very,
mines down
very
or things like
adept,
that, which is
mine
pretty
layer.
cool.
So
If
you
you've
can
got
use this
plenty
to
of
mine and
manpower but
trap
not much
different parts of
munitions.
the map, and set up
That's kinda cool.
traps for your opponent. It can get you a finishing kill or damage station.
There's also some deadly combinations as well. For example, going back to OSS coordination, if you have a tunnel which has had the retreat point turned on, you could spawn saboteurs out of it right in the depth of your enemy's territory, drop a couple of mines, then retreat back through that tunnel without the player even knowing that there's saboteurs on the field. So they're very, very good at just doing a lot of damage without being noticed.
Okay. Yeah. Seems like I'm gonna be expecting a lot of very fun clips and YouTube compilations of the saboteurs here.
Shenanigans.
Do we maybe want to touch on some of the abilities that are not being used here?
I mean, we'll probably get to them in like future either content or replays. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Or they probably will be already out. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so far just talking about the game a little, because I've had these tunnels and I keep playing on the periphery, Darren keeps getting kind of sandwiched into the middle. I think he's trying to offset it now by playing fully on the right side on like the north end and not giving me that flank essentially, and just being ready.
What does that
for
flag
whenever I try
mean
and
then?
flank
Is
from
he
the bottom,
Is he stealing
which does make this
resources
quite
from that? No,
difficult
that would
for
be
me.
smuggling routes. He hasn't got that active. So what's the
like,
flag on
Partisans
that
gives
tunnel
you
mean?
a lot of different tech to attack the opponent where he isn't, or to make life really difficult for them in certain locations. But it's really difficult to kind of push into an enemy directly. You don't get too many abilities that allow you to do that, though there's a few, or there's one or two, and I think there will be a case later on that happens. But you do need to rely on these tactics, because again, if you're investing these resources into these tunnels, and Darren's already destroyed quite a few of them, that is manpower that is not going to your army. So you do need to leverage these kind of extra things that you can do to gain value, or else your opponent will simply just outvalue you. And for example, one of the things that Last Stand is quite good at is generating value via different.
So the unit car's getting filled with tunnels. Oh yeah, there's a lot of
situations.
tunnels.
So again, he was able to recover wrecks from
It's not
my
a
dead vehicle in
massive
that
issue,
case, though
but yeah, it
obviously
is
he
cluttering the
salvaged his
screen a
own.
little bit.
And the final battle allows him to generate munition from his infantry. Though again, it's not worth it to just lose infantry to generate munitions. However, there are cases where the overall value will be enough, because you will be able to use those munitions for like other things.
Yeah, I mean, you can see at the moment Darren isn't using Final Battle because he's on the push. like his units are out of cover. He's facing, oh, in that case, he was facing riflemen that were in cover. He'd have just taken losses and wouldn't have gained much at all.
Yeah.
But once he's taken this position off Jason and he has the cover that he can use himself, he might as well flick it back on.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And,
I
like,
still
with the
don't
pop
feel like
tower,
losing a
it's
squad
quite
man for
difficult.
3 munitions is
He
worth
has
it,
that
you know?
pop tower in a really difficult position for
It's
me to
really not
attack.
worth it.
It's kind of in the center, and there's no.
And if you're going to
because
lose
he's
dudes
controlled that
anyway, I guess it's
entire
okay to
top
flip it
flank,
on.
I don't have any
right?
easy access to that area. I could try and attack from the south, but like he's been pretty consistent at having 1 or 2 units down there. And yeah, so I'm trying to trap a little bit more here to make it more difficult for him to play here. But because he's running around, I do think he runs into some of these fights, but like we'll see.
Looks like he's
One of
got a
the things to note
Panzerfaust
is the
ability,
Stern
not a
Pioneers don't
Panzer
work
Shrek.
exactly the way like
Not
Pioneers.
from the
so they don't
teaser
have
video. It
access
looked like they
to
were using a
minesweepers.
Panzer Shrek, not a Panzerfaust.
So I've also noted that he doesn't have any minesweepers. However, I think he knows that I am mining these edges of the map, so he's kind of avoiding them as well. Yeah. But like in the south side, do you see those 2 points that are still captured by me? Those are still connected to my base because of the tunnel. Yeah,
Oh,
he's trying to
shit, is
sweep
that
for
what they
one
do?
now. Like as you see.
Maybe that's what the flag means. Oh, right. So you don't even need direct line all the way back to your base with the tunnel networks to benefit. Okay, because I was thinking, right, he's doing really badly because he's not got them connected to his base, but he's getting these. Yeah, because it's not
on,
flashing
like,
on the
capture point.
mini-map.
He's probably microing a few other things at the same time, but he knows I have a tunnel here because neither of these territories are cut off. I'm still gaining full resources from
Oh,
them,
that's not the
and
smuggling
that basically
ability,
tells them,
Raka.
hey, there's a tunnel here.
Smuggling ability is siphoning resources. These territory points are owned by him.
Though sometimes it's kind of hard to see
Right?
in the heat
And they're
of
not
battle
connected.
that this is happening.
So the
I
smuggling
can't
ability
quite
would
see
be
if
if
he
this
had
was an
vision
enemy
on those
territory, he'd be
partisans,
benefiting
but he does
resources.
clear that tunnel eventually.
Yeah,
No.
very dastardly. That
Quite,
he
Yeah,
cut off like
it's
that.
quite
but still
cool,
gaining
actually. So it
resources.
allows you to play
When you look at the
in different
minimap
which
as
is
well,
really cool,
you
I think,
think that
actually.
Jason would be very much on the back foot, but his fuel income is higher by quite a significant margin.
Yes.
Because of those tunnels.
Yeah. But like if you look at VPs, because Darren just has a stronger army, it's been more difficult for me to.
Yeah. Oh, this is false orders.
Yes. So this is one of the combat abilities that we have for
Threat
the
fire.
partisans. So what these blue rings are indicating is the tunnel influence. So a lot of the partisan abilities can only be used around or within the vicinity of a tunnel. This ability allows you to cast on any point or any tunnel within tunnel influence. And in a large area, essentially
something blew
units
up on the
become
right.
slower and they get reduced accuracy. They're
Looks like we
essentially
saw
getting
a,
disrupted
another
by
tunnel explosion
the
over it. We'll
proliferation of false
barely
orders,
saw
which
it.
makes it more
For the aftermath of
essentially
it.
makes them more confused and makes everything more difficult. This was something the partisans did quite a bit. Not quite tactically.
I'm just right.
but
You could do
we
the
wanted
tunnel
to bring that
detonation
into
on
the
retreating squads. If you
franchise.
time it well, it's kind of like
but they,
another like rifle grenade retreat type
made
thing. If you do the
intel
tunnel
collection
detonation,
or the
you
passing
time it.
orders way
If,
more
if it's got a
difficult
long
than
radius,
couriers.
which it looks like it does, because that tunnel is here, right, where my mouse cursor is, and he used the ability to hit that machine gun that was there, right? So that was quite a long way. So, but if you're good with your, you time it well, so this is retreating squad coming through here, and you triggered it around here, and you coincide it with a retreat path, you could potentially get a nice wipe potentially if you do it.
Falsify orders,
But
and they can
difficult to
falsify,
do for
like,
sure. But that'd be
newspapers
really
and
cool to
stuff
see.
like that. Just make life more difficult for the Vermacht.
Sow the seeds of confusion.
Yes. So between that ability and underground detonation, I've opted for
Time
both
scales
of
the
those
distance,
abilities
does it?
in the tree, because I am finding that Darren's just not allowing me to fight him in multiple small places. So I'm going for the bigger combat tricks that you can get. I am giving up meaningful other picks that are more
Colonels are
effective
super
at
easy to
fighting,
kill,
more
though.
decentralized. But
It's good. They're
that's
not
kind
that,
of
they're
the
not that
choices with,
tanky, so that's good.
battle groups.
Yeah, if you look at the composition you've got as well, like Darren has 4 tanks that he's rolling around with against your 1.
We just missed it there, but that's Nebelwerfer for Overwatch, which is one of the last stands abilities. This off map in a large area essentially has a Nebelwerfer Nebelwerfer battery.
To be honest, though, I think
constantly
against good
barrage enemy
players,
targets
this
that
commander
it can
won't do
find.
very well.
It does
the
require
Italian
vision,
one
and
specifically.
does require your opponent to be within the circle, but it can be quite devastating.
They'll
to
notice
any
points
kind
that
of unit inside.
where tunnels will be connected to, so they'll hunt them down.
So, I'm still just trying to be sneaky.
I mean, look, you've got 28 fuel income to his 13. It's devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Will, I know we already covered this this new map.
A lot of the ambient
in
buildings will be
our,
destroyed
deep
as
dive
well.
Video, but is there anything else that you want to mention here about this community map that you worked on with Brian to get into the game? Anything in terms of like this specific matchup and how this map is sort of playing out?
I mean, this is a perfect case, really, of how this map should be played. Because Bologna is a wide 1v1 map. You see the players are facing on edges, so there's 4 corners to play in, which might not get much play in an average match, but with Partisans, I mean, there's basically a tunnel in every corner of this map, which is ideal. And it would be the same with other maps like Villa Fiore, for example, and to a lesser extent even Road to Tunis, where there are corners where you can.
Surprised you never get this question. Which battle groups are best for comp stompers?
But yeah, Bologna.
Anything
is a
kind
map
of
that as soon as
defensive
the player
where it
saw
allows
that
people
into
just to
point
like set
applications,
up and
yeah,
lock
this is
down
gonna
in
go
an
very,
areas
very well
and
with some of our new changes. It has big open courtyards for some of the last stand tools, which is really good fun. But
he's
yeah,
locked that
Partisans
Panzer
are a
IV
mean
down
beast
there,
on
but
this map.
actually doesn't use the retrofit. So I mean, this
But then,
commander for the
example,
Axis seems
has
to be
been
pretty good because you
sweeping
can
my
lock down your
tunnels, like,
vehicles in
we
you know
haven't seen too much of it,
in
but
cool
he's definitely
locations
not made this
and
free.
get the Pantherturms up
If
and
you
stuff
look
as
at
well.
the
So
two
this commander would be
armies
probably
side
good,
by
pretty
side,
good against
I think his army is pretty consistently just stronger.
the AI.
Um,
Partisan, on the
and,
other hand, probably
like,
not because it's a
he
lot of
also has
micro.
access to some really powerful strikes. I do think he stopped using the prop tower. No, he still has that one prop tower in the middle, but he doesn't have any other ones right now, which is making my life a little bit easier. But I think he's also
The range of the propaganda tower is pretty significant,
He
which is
also hasn't
nice.
used the other component of the last ditch defenses, the Pantherturm.
The Pantherturm, yeah. I don't think he's had a need for it, mostly because I haven't had too much armor on the field. Despite my fuel income, like I'm bleeding quite a bit, so.
Probably worth explaining what it is though, because he is unlikely to build it, but it is kind of comes alongside the propaganda tower. So the you can see it on the right side there. Yeah, the Pantherturm
240 and
players would be
35
familiar with
fuel.
it, I imagine if they experience.
Pretty damn good.
The Pantherturm is a small emplacement with a Panther turret on the top, so it is immobile.
That's a
but
pretty
it is
decent
still a
cost for
Panther
that.
gun. So it's a very robust anti-tank defense that you can put in key positions. It's got decent range. It's got very good health and survivability. Great for locking down a sector against armored pushes.
But here I'm using false orders again to make his life harder. But I'm trying to essentially break apart this middle position. that he
Sherman
has.
sounded
I
good then,
noticed that
didn't
he
it? The
essentially
Sherman
tried
shot.
to push me out of one of the out of
That's
that
in the
north
new
flank.
audio there.
And I think he ran through a few mines and a few other bad engagements, which gives me this opportunity. This is kind
think
of the
that
other
the
thing
tank
you have to do
shots
as
from both-
Partisans is kind of force your
Both
opponent to
vehicles
fight
sound
where
more
they're
improved.
not as strong, and then try and punish it. I don't, and yeah, try to dive him. I don't think this is working out well for me. Sherman gets a kill there.
Oh, that bounce.
That bounce,
bounce.
and he gets a rear hit on that Sherman, which kills it. And I kill this P4. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
There we go. The map is cleared.
Yeah. But if you look at the armies, I've also lost a lot.
Yeah.
Both players have kind of reduced down quite a bit. Now, this is actually really bad for me because this is where Last Stand is really in its prime. They're really adept at essentially making the most out of trading out of units. So, for example, he's gotten a ton of munitions. And then
Yeah, he's
also
about to
he is
salvage
able
all these
right now,
vehicles
I think he's
or-
simultaneously. I believe he's salvaging these. I actually don't know if they're recovering or salvaging right now.
I imagine you wouldn't have the resources to do both recovery.
Yeah, I'm trying to interrupt one with a strafing run from my air support center, and then I'm attacking the other. So I just barely stopped both, but yeah, like you have to be
Yeah.
on top of this.
You
because
play
if you
against this,
don't,
you
your
need to make sure you're
opponent will
destroying
get
every wreck
way,
as
way
well
ahead of you.
as the allies. Make sure they can't
These
salvage anything.
The Stern Pioneers now at Veteran C3 are also quite dangerous. It's very difficult for some of my infantry to actually fight these.
This is the Nebelwerfer barrage coming in
looks
now.
like Darren's calling in Nebelwerfer barrage. Oh, goodbye.
Which is a big radius. Again, like you said, he needs to have vision.
Kind of
for
different to
this
the
to be
normal
functional, but
Nebelwerfer
still
barrage because this is not like incendiary round
That
rockets
doesn't-
that the normal
that didn't kill
Nebelwerfers
that wreck. You got lucky there.
lob in.
Yeah, and I've tried to have tunnels in the middle, but every time I have, I think he's pretty consistently just instantly cleared them.
Yeah.
They do drop experience as well for the unit
moment I
that
start
kills them
fighting
as
in
well, the
middle,
tunnel
like,
networks.
I
That's
instantly
what
become weaker.
XP
And
could
I
pop
do
up
think
then.
I overcommit to fighting there a little bit. Yeah, I think he just
Oh, well,
recovered
too,
one of
we
these
switched over
things,
to a
from
different
what you're
replay.
saying.
We looked at the glide bomb earlier. Looked okay.
Oh no, it's the
Still your
Chaffee.
Chaffee. Yeah.
It's the good old Chaffee.
Classic.
Yeah, it wasn't that
But
great.
yeah, he's gonna
I
start
can see,
trying to get these
though, to be
racks as
honest,
well.
the instances that it was used, it wasn't used very
Tank
well, to
riding
be
in
honest.
style?
So,
I mean, I'm trying to, like, I don't have
have
that
to
many
test it
units. I'm trying to
myself.
get back on the field. Right now, I'm panicking. It's like, I haven't managed to clear any of those racks. Those are still there. And I want to push them out. But at this point, he has a far superior army. So I have to try and make the most I can. So I'm trying to push into the middle here. Use
one
everything
big
I
thing
can
that
to
I
stop them from
always
recovering.
feel like Relic should do, and they never do, is when a unit is when you recover an enemy vehicle, right? The markings on the vehicle should change. You know, we can still clearly see that this Chaffee has the star on it, right? I think it would have been a really good, nice touch of detail for them to just add, the German cross on it, or if vice versa, if an Axis Panzer IV was to be recovered by a recovery vehicle, then it would have the Sherman star on it. Things like that would be like a really nice thing, a nice touch to add. But
Recovering.
yeah,
But I don't think it works very well because he's ready for me. Yeah. This Sherman kind of goes in, tries to become a hero, and just dies. The Chaffee, of all things, gets the finishing kill. So goodbye. And that is GG. As
Is
I
that
don't
it?
have the resources.
yeah. Okay, so I think we watched both of them now. Both of those videos we've now watched. Yeah, I think overall though, I think these new command. If you're thinking about buying these new battle groups, guys, come the 27th of this month, I think they're worth it. They look good. I think they all add something a bit different. They add a bit more flavor. There are some things that we've seen in previous Company Heroes games, like with the Parsons in general, were in Company Heroes 2, and you can spawn them into ambi buildings like you can with this new commander. But they've gone the extra mile, and I've got to give praise where praise is due, and I do think like they've gone the extra mile to make them more fleshed out, more abilities, more interesting things. So, and yeah, we did look at Polish cavalry earlier. So if you missed my kind of reaction and
So guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and want more content, check up over here and over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the button down here. To catch the next video, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.